When Queen Elizabeth II passed away in 2022, it marked a big change for the British royal family. King Charles III took over the throne, and while his coronation was a grand event, it didn't exactly hide the rising tensions among the royals. A big part of the problem was the title of his wife, Camilla. Originally, she was set to be called Queen Consort, which is what the late Queen Elizabeth wanted. But soon enough, her title quietly switched to just Queen. And that didn't sit well with some key family members, especially Princess Anne. Let's talk a bit about Princess Anne. She's the second child of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, and she's always been serious about her duties. Known for her discipline and respect for tradition, she's like a rock for the royal family. But underneath that calm surface, she was clearly upset. Why? Partly because of the title change for Camilla, but also because she felt a strong connection to her mother's legacy and the customs that came with it. When Charles married Camilla in 2005, it was decided that Camilla wouldn't take the title of Princess of Wales out of respect for Princess Diana. At first, Charles announced that Camilla would be called Princess Consort after his coronation due to the unique nature of their marriage and her growing popularity with the public. But when the coronation took place in 2023, Camilla was simply named Queen, which caught a lot of people off guard. Princess Anne, known for her loyalty to her family and traditions, understandably found this hurtful. To her, it wasn't just a title change, it felt like a disregard for her mother's wishes, a potentially dangerous shift for the monarchy. Even though Princess Anne acted calmly during the ceremony and afterward, whispers began to spread about some tension between her and Camilla. Word has it that during a family dinner shortly after the coronation, Camilla brought up her new title and Anne reportedly shot back with something like, "You're not the queen, just the king's wife." You can imagine that stirred the pot a bit. For decades, Queen Elizabeth led with an incredible amount of grace, and it felt like a slap in the face not to honor her wishes. While this disagreement might seem like a small thing, it actually revealed some significant differences between Anne and Camilla that had probably been simmering for a while. Princess Anne has always championed royal protocol, while Camilla has often sought to modernize her role within the confines of tradition. Some royal observers have noted that these clashes could foreshadow deeper fractures within the family dynamic, leading to more public scrutiny as the monarchy evolves. Gossip has it that Charles is keen on uniting the family, but these rifts might challenge his efforts. As the press continues to monitor every move, it's uncertain how much longer the royal family can remain cohesive with these underlying tensions. What other surprises might we see within the royal family as these tensions unfold? Only time will tell, but many will be watching closely to see if there might be more explosive interactions in the coming months. You know, it's pretty well known that Anne and Camilla's relationship hasn't been smooth for a while now. Even with Camilla trying to make connections like with Prince Harry, things still feel pretty complicated between her and Anne. They might be close in age, but their personalities and what they prioritize are really different. Anne has always been seen as one of the most dedicated to the crown, known for her no-nonsense attitude and sticking to tradition. On the flip side, Camilla takes a more laid-back approach, which sometimes rubs Anne the wrong way. After the Queen passed, things got even more tense between them, especially since Camilla has become a big part of the royal family, which some view as stepping on Anne's toes and not honoring what her mother stood for. Things got a bit more heated with Anne's worries about how the monarchy is changing, especially with Prince William pushing for a modern take. William really wants to make the royal family more open and accessible, thinking it's time to cut down on senior royals doing official duties. He believes the monarchy needs to feel more relevant and in touch with today's world. Interestingly, even though Anne likes many of the traditions, she realizes that some changes are needed for the monarchy to keep going strong. She gets that public opinion matters a lot for the kingdom's future, and she's on board with William's ideas for making things more modern. But here's where it all gets tricky. Anne sees Camilla's growing influence and her desire to be called Queen as a step back from modernizing the royal family. That title change for Camilla feels like a slap in the face to what the late Queen wanted. It clashes with the vision that Anne and William have for moving forward. The whole situation shows just how different the royal family is in their beliefs. On one side, you have Anne and William trying to push for a monarchy that connects more with the public, and on the other, some members want to hold on to old traditions and titles. With more people watching what the royals do these days, Buckingham Palace is trying to boost Camilla's status, even considering changes to titles. It's all pretty fascinating. Gossip has it that there are even whispers within royal circles about potential rivalries forming among the younger royals, sparking speculation over who might take the lead in shaping the future of the monarchy. There's also talk that Anne may be contemplating her own future role and how she might advocate for a balance between legacy and modernity. Perhaps she sees opportunities to leverage her dedication and experience to create a bridge between the conflicting views within the family. The Cornwall Room is now called the Queen's Reading Room, and pretty soon, this change will be officially recognized. As the dynamics within the royal family continue to unfold, it will be interesting to watch how these relationships evolve and how they adapt to a changing world. What do you think will happen next? This change is seen as a way to give Camilla more importance within the royal family, but it's bringing up some worries and caution. After all, public opinion really matters. Camilla knows that for the monarchy's future, keeping the public's trust is key, and she spent a lot of time building her image as a loyal figure. But how will this shift in her title affect how people see her? Removing consort from her title might make it seem like they're overlooking what the Queen did and what people expect. As the royal family goes through these changes, the tricky relationship between Camilla and Princess Anne is definitely something to consider. Anne, known for her strong loyalty to the monarchy, views this situation as a serious issue that needs to be sorted out. On the flip side, her support for William's push to modernize could help shape the monarchy for the future. As William is ready to take on the role of king, he might need to lean on Anne's wisdom and experience to get through this time of change. While Camilla will certainly play a big role during Charles III's reign, her options might be more limited with the modern direction that William and Anne are backing. People are watching closely to see how these dynamics play out behind palace doors. It's clear that big changes are happening in the British monarchy, and Princess Anne is committed to balancing tradition with new ideas. This balance will definitely influence how things move forward. Anne has always been a shining example of royal dedication, earning her the nickname the Princess Royal, due to her hard work and loyalty. She takes great pride in continuing her mother Queen Elizabeth II's legacy and tries to reflect that spirit in everything she does. From a young age, she looked up to her mother's example, unlike her brothers who approached their royal responsibilities in different ways. Most importantly, Anne embodies the sense of duty that her mother represented and reflects her father's grounded outlook. Queen Elizabeth's selflessness and ongoing dedication to the nation left a lasting impression on her. What does this mean for the monarchy's future? Only time will tell how these changes unfold and what impact they will have going forward. Princess Anne was shaped by her mother's calm leadership, which really left a lasting impression on her life. She embraced qualities like resilience and a strong dedication to the monarchy. Additionally, there are whispers within royal circles that some of the younger members of the family are looking to Anne for guidance, especially as discussions about the future of royal responsibilities become more pressing. Rumor has it that during a recent family gathering, there were talks about incorporating more public engagements that reflect modern societal values, which could further shift the dynamics within the royal family. Nonetheless, it remains to be seen how all these elements will come together in the unfolding story of the monarchy. It was clear how much she loved and respected her mother, not just in public, but also in her private life. The young princess admired how Queen Elizabeth managed to balance being a queen and a mom while handling all the pressures that came with it. Even as a member of one of the most famous families in the world, Princess Anne wasn't one to seek the limelight. Just like her mom, she preferred to quietly take care of her duties without drawing too much attention to herself. One of the biggest ways she followed in Queen Elizabeth's footsteps was through her commitment to public service. In fact, she quickly became known for taking on more royal responsibilities than anyone else in the family. Her approach was serious and respectful, and she never backed down from the missions given to her. Even the most routine royal tasks were handled with her steady determination. She often said that the core of the monarchy is all about service, and her mom helped instill that belief in her. On her 21st birthday, Queen Elizabeth promised to dedicate her life to the people, and Anne sought to carry that same spirit throughout her life. During her reign, the Queen maintained a strong presence on the global stage, never allowing her personal feelings to interfere with her royal responsibilities. which helped her earn a reputation as one of the most dependable members of the royal family. Queen Elizabeth's influence on Anne went beyond just royal duties. It also included a deep respect for tradition, protocol, and the preservation of the crown's legacy. This commitment to traditional values, especially regarding how the monarchy is viewed by the public and its responsibilities to the people of Britain, was something her mother taught her. After all, the monarchy isn't just a family. It stands for continuity, stability, and national identity. Queen Elizabeth believed in keeping the monarchy politically neutral and focused on serving the country, which shaped many of Anne's choices, especially during tricky family situations. This respect for tradition is why the change in Camilla's title was so tough for Anne. It raised questions about what these traditions mean and how they affect family dynamics, making it a delicate issue for many in the royal family, especially for someone like Anne, who values continuity and the monarchy's role in British society. In a recent interview, Anne expressed her commitment to preserving these values for future generations, emphasizing the need to remain connected to history while also being adaptable to the changing times. It is no wonder that many royal watchers consider her to be the one who holds the family together, both through her responsibilities and her unwavering principles. Gossip has it that Anne has quietly taken on the role of advisor to younger members of the royal family, helping them to navigate the complexities of royal life while adhering to the values instilled in her by her mother. What will happen next in this ongoing story of tradition and change? Will Anne's voice shape the future of the monarchy, playing a vital role in its evolution while holding on to the legacy her mother built? The intrigue surrounding these royal dynamics continues to capture public attention, leaving many pondering the path ahead for one of the world's most enduring institutions. This situation isn't just about breaking some rules. It poses a real threat to the legacy that Queen Elizabeth spent years building. Elizabeth always wanted Camilla to stay as queen consort. Considering the history of the monarchy and how Charles and Camilla's relationship has been, not following this wish feels like more than a slight against Elizabeth. It endangers the traditions she held dear. Moreover, Queen Elizabeth II was known for her incredible sense of duty and commitment to her role, which often meant prioritizing the institution over personal relationships. Although there were rumors of a potential rift between Elizabeth and Camilla during the earlier years of their relationship, they seem to have established a more cordial relationship over time. However, the question remains, can that bond be maintained in the wake of these changes? Now, it's crucial to see how Anne is trying to follow in her mother's footsteps. Sure, it's a strength for her, but it also poses challenges. She's proud to carry on her mom's legacy, yet she also has to think about these changes that she feels could shake the monarchy's stability. When Camilla's title changed, Anne thought it was totally unnecessary and a little disrespectful to the late queen. Interestingly, there has been gossip swirling around the palace that this title change was pushed for by Charles to reinforce Camilla's position within the family, potentially as a way to deflect any lingering criticism of their union. While many insiders maintain that this decision was rooted in a desire for legitimacy, others speculate it's a measure of control in a rapidly evolving royal landscape. This hasn't helped the already rocky relationship between her and Camilla. They've never been the closest, though Camilla has worked hard to earn her place in the royal family and has gained more recognition lately. However, Anne still views her with a bit of caution. Internal sources have said that Anne thinks Camilla's rise in status feels undeserved, especially considering her past scandals and that promises that were made when Charles married her. This consideration of past behaviors adds an additional layer of complexity to their interactions, as Camilla strives to reshape her image and become more accepted within the royal framework. She has made significant efforts to engage with charitable causes and public outreach to bolster her popularity. Still, Anne sees these efforts as somewhat overshadowed by the controversies of her past, and sees Camilla's title change as a big contradiction to the spirit of service and selflessness that her mother represented during her reign. This clash between Anne's personal beliefs and her support for Prince William's plans to modernize the monarchy highlights her frustration with Camilla's new title. While she values tradition, she realizes that the monarchy needs to adapt to stay relevant and thrive. Speaking of modernization, Prince William wants to take the monarchy in a direction that feels more open and relatable to everyday people, moving away from rigid old traditions. and backs him up on this, knowing that change is necessary. She aims to strike a balance between keeping the monarchy's rich history alive and ensuring it means something in today's world. However, as Camilla's influence grows and she pushes to be called queen instead of just queen consort, and starts to worry about what modernizing really means, she believes it should be about being transparent, humble, and committed to helping the public, not just about grabbing more titles and power. This landscape of uncertainty leaves many wondering if a modern monarchy can truly be achieved without sacrificing the very principles that have solidified its existence for centuries. For example, changing the Cornwall reading room to the Queen's reading room seems less like a step towards modernization and more like an attempt to hold on to power. What does this say about the royal family's priorities? Prince William wants to shape the future of the monarchy, and he's looking to make it feel more relatable and down to earth. Just like her mother, Queen Elizabeth, Princess Anne believes in putting what's best for the crown first. It's pretty clear that for much of her life, Queen Elizabeth focused on serving the people over personal desires, and Anne wants to keep that spirit alive as she backs William's vision. You might wonder why Anne has been upset about Camilla's title change. It's really about honoring her mother's legacy. Queen Elizabeth was always clear that Camilla should be recognized as queen consort, and Anne is committed to sticking to that. It's not that she has anything against Camilla personally, it's just about maintaining respect for the traditions and wishes handed down to her from Queen Elizabeth. Anne's own connection to her mother runs deep. From a young age, she embraced values like duty and service, and even when family disagreements pop up, like those around Camilla's title, she remains steadfast in her dedication to those principles. Supporting William's push for modernization shows that she understands the need for the monarchy to stay relevant as the world changes. It's interesting to see that Anne's loyalty to the crown hasn't wavered, even when faced with new challenges. Some royal watchers even speculate that her resistance to certain changes might be a way for her to subtly keep the spirit of her mother alive in an era that appears to prioritize change over tradition. As she continues her mother's legacy, you can't help but think about how Princess Anne will shape her own mark on royal history. It's all about finding that balance between tradition and the need to adapt, and her backing of William's reforms emphasizes that. Imagine what the monarchy could look like in the future with Anne's steady influence. Her blend of traditional values and openness to change could really help guide the family forward. With whispers in the media hinting that Anne might be positioning herself as a stabilizing force during these transformative times, it's crucial to consider how her guidance could affect their public perception. Whatever happens, it's clear that her strong sense of duty and connection to her mom's teachings will be crucial for the monarchy's stability, especially when times get tough. So, what kind of monarchy do you think we'll see with this new generational shift? The royal family is trying to connect better with people today. They know that to stay relevant, they need to stick to their traditions but also get involved in modern life. Building bridges with the public can often feel like a tightrope walk, and the royal family must tread carefully to maintain respect while also evolving. Nowadays, folks want the monarchy to be open and liked, and that's something the princess understands well. She supports her son William in making the monarchy more relatable, believing this aligns with her mother's values too. So, how does she do this? One big way is through charity work. She believes that getting involved in causes like education, healthcare, and environmental protection really helps bridge the gap with the younger crowd. Plus, she's super active in charitable organizations, especially those that focus on helping young people and funding scientific research. As the president of the Royal Association and numerous other foundations, she shows that traditional royal duties can mesh well with what people care about today. What's also interesting is her focus on making discussions about royal initiatives more public. By doing this, she thinks it helps people understand and trust the monarchy better. While some people might have mixed feelings about Camilla's position, she doesn't let that sidetrack her from the bigger picture. She balances respecting long-standing traditions with bringing fresh ideas to the table. This time of change is a chance for the royal family to show how they can adapt to what people need today. Their future really depends on how well they can honor history and still meet present demands. By working on these transformations, she sets an example not just for her family but for anyone interested in the British monarchy. Supporting William's plans is also important because it helps prepare new leaders for the challenges ahead, adding stability and showing that the monarchy cares about real issues. By leading these changes, the family can be a strong symbol of resilience and wisdom, using lessons from the past to create a better, more adaptable future. In fact, recent discussions suggest that the princess has been encouraging more public-oriented engagement with the youth of Britain, including open forums and community events, which has been met with a generally positive response. How will this all play out for the British monarchy in the years to come? It's definitely a topic worth following. If you found this glimpse into the evolving royal family and the princess's key role interesting, stick around for more updates on this story. There are whispers in the tabloids that she might even be contemplating a documentary series that highlights the day-to-day charity work of the royal family, aiming to humanize and demystify their roles. If you want to keep up with more stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And hey, while you're at it, give this post a thumbs up. We really want to hear your opinions, so drop your thoughts in the comments section. What do you think about how the royal family's roles and traditions are changing over time? It's pretty interesting stuff, right? There's always something new happening, like how younger members of the family are stepping up in different ways, or how they're connecting with people through social media. Many of them are using platforms like Instagram and TikTok to share their experiences and showcase their talents, drawing in followers and fans along the way. It's a whole new world for them, and we'd love to know what you think about all this unfolding drama and tradition. Interestingly, some family members have also taken to creating podcasts where they discuss their lives and family history, giving a fresh perspective on traditional narratives. Others have initiated virtual meetups, bridging the gap between different generations and fostering deeper connections that weren't always possible. Gossip has it that there are some intriguing stories circulating about upcoming family events, hinting at potential revelations and surprises that could shake things up a bit. So dive in and share your views.